Ok, Emilia Costantini, prego.
Io ho domande, ce le fate fare prima.
Ah, scusa.
Meglio ritornare sulla Luna o puntare su Marte e poi...
E poi l'esperienza spirituale.
Hai ragione.
Grazie.
Scusa.
Scusa, io mi leggo l'esperienza spirituale che non mi ha mai risposto sulla domanda e lui ha detto del Vangelo.
Sì, adesso hai già fatto le domande, basta.
No, l'avevo fatta prima da un'ora fa e non mi ha risposto. Volevo sapere, l'avevo chiesto prima, non mi ha risposto.
Però
Come
non si può
rispondo?
fare così, adesso lasciamolo rispondere.
No, ma è
L'ha
legata a quella
ripetuta adesso.
spirituale. L'importante è che ce lo dica. Non che parla il
Those are distinctly two different. Should we go back to the moon, or what was the spiritual experience? Those are two completely different. We, like all the nations of the world, have clearly limited resources to achieve what we can best judge is the result at a stage of achievement, a stage of advancement. Each nation has to come up with their appraisal as to what it is they want to do. Before the Columbia accident, February 03, February 1st, we were going to fly the shuttle till 2020 or 2025. After the accident, no. We're going to do something new and different, and it was inspiring just to contemplate doing something a little different to excite people. We'll finish the space station the best we can. We'll retire the orbiter because it's demonstrated not to be able to live up to its expectations of how rapidly we could fly it, how inexpensive, and turn it around and get it ready to go, and how safe it was. It just hasn't been anywhere near as safe as we thought it would be. So we're going to have a tendency to want to move on to something. What? Well, the thing that excited people before, exploration. Well, how do we do exploration? It was probably the fact that we went to the moon once and we could maybe learn by going back there again to go somewhere else. But clearly the somewhere else was the ultimate objective. Now, I've witnessed the implementation of this with concern, primarily because the accident board justified an implementation that involved a small rocket for the crew and a big rocket for other things. So we have to develop two. And they became not easy to derive as time went on, more expensive, not living up to expectations again. We didn't go to the moon with two rockets. We had a Saturn I and a Saturn V, but we used a Saturn V, and we'd used several of them because we were concentrating on one rocket. Okay, we started out, in my estimation, by trying to do it with two rockets instead of one. And then it began to come apart, in my estimation, by absorbing all the funds that would let us allow the people of the world and the people of our nation who will have seen astronauts land on a runway for 28 years, we will allow them not have to buy a ride with another nation that we're not on exactly great terms with right now. For 5 years or 6 years, we're going to have to pay over $50 million for each astronaut that goes up there. That's not a very good transition from what we've been doing to what we're doing in the future. Why? Because we can't afford to spend money on anything but the cheapest way to take cargo up and down, take people up and down, and that's to land in the ocean, because that's what we did when we started out. I think that's a poor transition. We could be landing on a runway. Now, is going back to the moon, when by the time we get there, we will have spent so much to do again what we did and explored and learned so much. And it was only when other nations begin to get interested in the moon that maybe now we're interested in it and they're interested in it, when people talk about a race. It would be the silliest thing totally for America to allow people to think that we're in a race when we've already been there 50 years ago. So we can take our talents and our experience and help other nations be cooperative, be sharing, be benevolent to other nations with our experience, help them to reach the point where they can say their astronauts, tachonauts, whatever, got to the moon. Not beating us going there, because where are we going to go? We're going to go fly by comets. We're going to visit asteroids, station keep with them, learning to eventually visit the moon of Mars within a reasonable period of time and not enormous expenditures right now, but scale back right now, because we don't need them right now, but we will gradually build up, given a recovery and given an optimistic world. We're trying to create an optimistic world that thinks of what we can do, not what we can't do, and to repeat something that we've done before, opening up, if we go back to the moon, it's going to encourage the others to try, but if we don't go back to the moon, I just wonder how much of a hurry they're going to be in China or in India to come up with the expenses that are needed. What is their pace? I don't know what it is, but we can certainly help them while we begin to expend our resources in a determined, build-up way. The thing that was inspiring about the early space program was the pace of achievement of two nations, the advancing each time something was new and different. Going back to the moon, we've done it. May do it better, maybe more expensive to do it again. We can send robots to the moon. They can do a very good job if there's something important for them to do. Science, yes, they can do a wonderful job. Is there a product on the moon that is worth bringing back to Earth? I don't know of one. We can develop fuel on the moon. To do what? To go to the moon to get fuel, to go to the moon to get fuel, to go to the moon to get fuel. Well, where's the payoff? We need to have a really good reason for wanting to do things, and there is an overwhelming set of stay the course. Don't change anything because we got money invested in what we're doing right now, and we don't want anything to change. It's not working out too well. Well, that's okay. We'll fix it all. It'll be better, and the opportunity will be lost once we go further down the pathway we're on right now. It will not be one we can cross over and do another without significant setbacks.
I mean, I think
I obviously am not very passionate about this.